Hi, I'm Miss Wong. Today we're going to look at factorizing monic quadratics. Last time we had a look at how to expand these factors to obtain those terms over there. And we could see that when we expanded, we would simplify the middle terms and obtained x squared plus 5x plus 6. Today, we want to go from this x squared plus 5x plus 6 to its factors. So we're factorizing. So how do we go from this into that? Let's look for patterns. The 3 and 2, how do we get to 6? Well, 3 and 2 are factors of 6, or in other words, they multiply to give us 6. And how about the 5? The 3 and 2 add up to be 5. So we can see that when we factorize, we need to find two numbers that add up to the middle term, but multiply to give us the third term. Let's use pronumerals to generalize this pattern. X plus a times x plus b. What would that give us? We notice that x plus a times x plus b would give us x squared plus ax plus bx, or in other words, a plus bx, and the last term is ab. So we can clearly see from this statement that a and b are multiplied to obtain the last term, and they're added for the middle term, just like the 5 and the 6. Let's use this to answer the following question. So we have x squared plus 7x plus 10. So what numbers multiply to give 10 but add to give 7? So let's look at the factors. We can think of 1 and 10. 1 times 10 is 10. But 1 and 10 does not add up to 7. The next two factors we can think of is 2 times 5. 2 and 5 does add up to 7. So our factors are 2 and 5, or x plus 2 and x plus 5. And you can check this by expanding, and you'll see that you will obtain this. Let's try another question. So what numbers multiply to give 20, but add to give 9? So let's think of factors of 20. Well, we have 1 times 20, which is definitely not 9, so let's not do that. We have 2 times 10, that's not going to give us 9 either. And we have 4 times 5. That does add up to be 9. So we're going to have x plus 4 and x plus 5. Let's try another one. This time we think what multiplies to give negative 10 and adds to be 3. Now we notice a negative in front of the 10. That means its factors have to be 1 positive and 1 negative. Because if they're both negative, well, minus and a minus, when you multiply them, you would get a positive. So the factors have to be 1 positive and 1 negative. What else do we notice? Well, we notice that the middle term is positive. So that means the bigger number, or the bigger factor, has to be positive. So we can do 10 times 1, so the bigger being positive. So 10 minus 1 is not 3, it's 9, so that doesn't work. Or we can have 5 and 2. So 5 times negative 2 is negative 10, and 5 minus 2 does give us 3. You might want to reread this and double check what I meant. So one of them has to be negative, and if the middle term is positive, see, the bigger value, 5, is also positive. So now write that in. So minus 2 and 5. And remember, you can always check by expanding. Question 5, x squared minus 3x minus 10. Again, we have to think of two numbers that multiply to give us negative 10 and two numbers that add up to minus 3. Let's look for the factors of negative 10. Now, if we did minus 2 times 5, it gives us negative 10. But minus 2 plus 5 gives us positive 3. So that is incorrect. Let's try a different variation of that. Minus 5 times 2 is negative 10. And minus 5 plus 2 does give us minus 3. So our factors are minus 5 and 2. So plus 2 and minus 5. Next question. X squared minus 14x plus 24. Again, look for numbers that multiply to 24 and add to minus 14. So how is it possible that two numbers multiply to be positive and add to be negative? Then both numbers or both factors have to be negative. So let's think of two factors. Minus 1 and minus 24 would give us minus 25. So that's too big, or too negative. So we'd go negative 2 times negative 12. That does give us negative 14. So our two factors are negative 2 and negative 12. Let's try one more. So this time again, multiply to give us negative 15 and add to give us negative 2a. What numbers can we think of? We can try negative 3 times 5, which is minus 15, but that would add up to be positive 2. So we have to switch the negative sign around. Negative 5 times 3 is negative 15, and negative 5 plus 3 is negative 2a. So now we have plus 3 and minus 5. And just a quick recap, if the last term is positive and the middle term is negative, then both of them are negative. A few more practice questions. Give this a go, pause the video, and when you're done, unpause to see the answers. So write the brackets out, and 27, 3 times 9 is 27, and if they're both negative, that works. And then 12, and this time it's ends. Be very careful with the prenumeral. Well, 12 is 6 times 2, which doesn't work, or 1 times 12, which doesn't work, and 4 times 3 works, so negative 4 and negative 3. And it doesn't matter which order you put them in. Then negative 6, so we have 6 and 1 to give us 5, and we need negative 1 because we want a positive 5. Then negative 6 again, and this time we want the negative to be the 6 because we want the middle term to be negative. See? When the last term is negative and you want the middle term to be negative, the bigger value is negative. When the last term is negative and you want the middle term to be positive, then the bigger value is positive. Next bit. So positive 6 and I want negative 7 in the middle, that will be negative 6 and negative 1. And then next one, if I want positive in the middle and that positive, then they'll both be positive. And lastly, negative 70. Well, 7 times 10 is 70. And I want that to be also negative, so the bigger value, so negative 10 and positive 7. That's it from me today. Thank you for watching, and again, practice, practice, practice. Make sure you get very comfortable with these questions, and I'll see you next time. Bye.